of commercial Babylon. And yes, there are two Babylons. There's an ecclesiastical Babylon and there's a commercial Babylon. Commercial Babylon is being sacrificed, and that's what you're seeing. This is a macro occult sacrifice, complete with sacred geometry in the three-dimensional form. That's exactly what you're seeing, a gigantic ritual sacrifice that has come from an original event which started in the Garden of Eden story that has manufactured and processed itself little by little, ever growing into the present system of materialism, consumer-based society. It's exactly what we have going on before us. So incredibly enough, how this number can mirror back and forth between two meanings and just absolutely be reflective of the same information. So let's go back here. Let's take another course through this thing and see how all of these things are still interrelating. All right, here's something that's very interesting. Let's talk about the number 11 for a moment and look at a significance with the number 11, and a significance that I think most of you might not understand. In the Garden of Eden event, we have something that takes place as a union, and it ends up being a union between man and the devil. We all know that the devil's number is 6, and we know that man's number is 5, the penta, and that's where we get the form of the pentagram, where you can stretch the form of an outstretched man within it, and the symmetry is the same. Now we're talking, of course, esoteric and occult science and sacred geometry, but nonetheless, that's exactly what these symbols here dictate and mean, and we're talking about the viewpoint of the occult in general, so we're going to see it like the occult see it. So here in the Garden of Eden event, we have the union, which is symbolized by temptation of Eve and Adam accepting this material knowledge of good and evil from the devil. So there we have it. 5 and 6 together, man and the devil, the union of the temptation event, equal 11. 11 symbolizes perfectly for us the duality, the dual nature, the knowledge of good and evil. Watch this. It even does it in numerical form. Not only in symbol, my friends, that you're seeing it, it even evolves to the symbols of the two towers, which represent the merchandise, which represents the duality, once again, of the original Eden offer, this temptation of the knowledge of good and evil. So here we go. 5 and 6, the temptation of mankind working with the devil, creating the formed unity of the knowledge of good and evil, which now breaks down as number 5, which represents good. That's mankind in his innocence before he was beguiled by the serpent. And then we have 6, which represents evil. All of this is a perfect fractal of information. 11 represents the Illuminati. Directly above it, even in the name, are the 2 L's, which represent our perfect 11, just like we understand. Here we have the union of man being tempted by the devil right over top of Lucifer, which is the master influence of this negotiation. And then we have, once again, the 11 evolving into the symbol of the merchandise, which is the knowledge of good and evil, which is being symbolized as the Big Apple in New York City, which was symbolized in direct relationship to Eve taking that apple. She has consumed, which creates the materialism. She's consuming the materialism. The materialism evolves into the symbolism for the merchandise in the world trade, which is the World Trade Centers. And of course, we go right on back to where we were. So any direction that we go, you're going to see that this thing is going to reveal to us multiple information. If we were to descend in this direction, directly here, we would have from the apple, the immediate evolution into the Big Apple, which is commercial Babylon, which brings us to the merchandise, which is the knowledge of good and evil, which is represented by the apple, which Eve did take.